Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my updated highlight and contour routine. So going from this to this, just giving my skin a very natural, defined look. Quickly before we start, Vlogmas is coming up. I'm starting on December 1st and I'm going right up until Christmas. Every single day excluding weekends, but I am including something really fun. I'm going to be doing a giveaway every single day that I upload a video, so you want to make sure that you're tuned in throughout my Vlogmas because you will have plenty of chances to win a little bit of a gift, so stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's get started on this contour and highlight routine. For foundation, I am using a recent one, and this is by Terry, and it's the Tient Serum Anti-Wrinkle Serum Foundation. There's English at the bottom. I'm using this in the shade 6.5 with my Beauty Blender. This foundation, it is expensive, but it is beautiful. Like, it gives you flawless looking skin, it minimizes your pores and wrinkles, it has like skincare in it as well. So for a nice contour, you really want a perfected base. That's how you achieve the perfect looking contour. As you guys know, I don't like a really heavy, cakey kind of base. I like it more natural, so this foundation is, oh, it's just so beautiful. Just wish it wasn't as expensive as it was, but that's okay. I'm just taking my time and really blending it into my skin, making it look seamless for all of the products that we're going to put on top of it. Now moving on to add a little bit of glow to my face, just because I feel like my skin has been a little bit dull and not dehydrated, just it's not as oily as it used to be, especially throughout this pregnancy. So I just want to bring some life and some glow back into my face. So I'm going to take this CoverFX Celestial Custom Drops, and I'm going to use a very small amount because this stuff is pigmented, like extremely pigmented. So I'm going to actually put it on the back of my hand and pop that on the tops of my cheek. We are going to be using a powder highlighter, but I just want this as a base to kind of give me like a wet highlighted look. I highly recommend picking up a beauty blender, or the Real Techniques beauty sponge is one of my favorites as well, because you are seriously going to use it so much with this. Next up is my highlighting concealer, and one of my friends slash subscribers sent me this. It is the Shape Tape. I'm the last one to probably ever use it, and just like everyone else, I am obsessed. I am using the shade Light Medium Honey. It is so good. It is very full coverage, but it's not as cakey as you may think it would be. So I'm just going to put this right under my eyes, not too much though, on the bridge of my nose, just a little bit on my forehead, and around my mouth. Because I find like it gets a little bit dark there. I don't know why, but it's just what I've been noticing. Maybe I'm going to bring this down a little bit just to lighten it a little bit more. I'm not adding any more product, I'm just spreading it out just so it's dispersed a bit better. Again, your beauty blender, softly just bouncing it on my face. I don't want to move around any product, I just want to press it in. And this concealer is amazing. It's so good. To be fair, in my defense, Tarte just wasn't really in the UK. I know you can order from Sephora, but like duties from the States is unreal. Like, I feel like I pay for the product twice, so I was so happy to receive this because it is just, it's a really good concealer, guys. Now to set all of that in place, I'm going to use a recent purchase, which is this NYX HD pressed powder in the shade Banana. So it definitely has a yellow undertone, which I haven't used a yellow undertone setting powder in a while, but been kind of into it, especially when I'm doing a bronzier contoured look. So I'm taking it on my Sigma Tapered Face F25 brush. Love this for setting any kind of powders, and I'm just going to press this in all of the areas that we just put our concealer. So that was one dip into the pan. I haven't dipped it again. I don't want it to look powdery or cakey. The whole point of this video is just to make it look very natural and bronzy and skin-like, obviously perfected skin, but I don't like it looking too heavy on my face. Now moving on to the main part of this video is my contour, and the shade I'm using is something that I've used lots and you guys have seen it lots. It is the Charlotte Tilbury. This one is the Bronze and Blush Glow. There's also the highlighter instead of the blush if you prefer that, but this shade right here, it is the perfect contour shade. I'm not a big fan of like super gray ashy undertone contours. I just don't think it really goes with my skin color. And then obviously you don't want something super shimmery and orange and bronzy because that is just going to attract the light there and it's just not going to look right. So this, in my opinion, is the perfect contour color. So I'm going to use this on this small, I think it's a blush brush, but I've been loving it for contour just because it like fits in like the hollows of my cheek. It's from Estee Lauder, and you can either second your cheeks, or if you feel like you know where your cheekbone is, you don't want to go too low. You'd rather start off higher and then blend, and naturally you're going to be blending it a little bit lower. So I'm going to start right at the top of my ear, not like the very top, but like right here, I guess mid, just above my mid ear. And I'm just going to move my brush in a circular motion all the way to the apples of my cheek. I'm not going to bring it to the corner of my mouth because I find it looks a little bit muddy there. Everyone has a different face, so this is where you have to kind of contour to complement your face shape. I would have, like I can see my cheekbones to about the apples of my cheek, but then I do have quite prominent apples, if you will, like you can really see them. So if I went like all the way down there, it just would start to look a little bit muddy. So I'm going to emphasize this whole area right here, right until the apples of my cheek, just to kind of lift it even more. Now the reason I'm doing this higher up rather than lower down, because if I were to go right into my like hollows of my cheek and blend, it's going to start to blend in this section, which is going to look like a 5 o'clock shadow, which we definitely don't want. We want this area to stay nice and bright so you see the contrast, so then it looks like you have a facelift. So just keep that in mind when you're blending. You don't want to blend too far down. Now bringing up my contour, I'm just keeping it at my hairline, really just wiggling it in there so it doesn't look like I'm wearing a mask. I want it to go right into my hairline and then fade it out. I'm also going to do a little bit on my eyebrow bone, just in the socket there. So you can already see the difference with this side. It's just a very soft, contoured, natural look compared to a very flat looking side. It doesn't look dramatic. It looks as natural as a contour can be, and that's why I just love using this powder. Seriously, like, I'm always amazed with what contouring can do. It literally works wonders. So we're going to do what we just did on this side over on this side. Now once your face is done, there is some fine-tuning contouring you can do. And what I mean by that is taking a little bit of the contour shade, and I'm going to pinch my brush so it's a little bit smaller. I'm going to put it under my lip. And this is just going to give the illusion of like a poutier pout, like a little bit of a bigger bottom lip. And you can also contour your nose. I'm just going to squish my brush and bring it downwards. I used to be so intense with contouring my nose, but I didn't find it looked natural in some photos, and sometimes I really overdid it. Plus it was very time consuming. So by doing this, it gives a little bit of definition to my nose, but it doesn't take up half the day. So that's just a little bit of fine-tuning contouring you can do if you want to go the extra step, I guess. So just under your bottom lip and a little bit on your nose. Now to amplify this and make it a little bit bronzier, you don't have to do this step, but I prefer a little bit of a bronzier base. I'm going to take this bronzer from Becca. It is in the shade Capri Coast, one of my favorite bronzers to give a little bit more of a sun-kissed glow. So it's not going to be as matte as the other shade. There's definitely a little bit more shimmer in this and a little bit more of a bronzy undertone, so not very much a contour color. Like you wouldn't use this one for contouring, but you would use it for bronzing. So I'm going to use it on the same brush and then just put it on the tops of my cheek, right above my eyebrow, kind of where the sun would naturally hit your face. Just warming up my skin now because I don't really want it to look too structured. I want it to look very natural, so giving a little bit of a bronze is going to do that. Now moving on to blush. This blush is so beautiful. I wore it on my wedding day. It's a beautiful wedding shade color, but also just for everyday use as well, and it's from Charlotte Tilbury. I love Charlotte Tilbury based products. I think she just nails it on the head with it, and it just looks so, oh, I just love them. So this is the Cheek to Chic in the shade Love Glow. I'm using it with this blush brush from Sigma. It is the Powder Blush F10 brush. So I'm going to just smile so you can see the apples in my cheek, and I'm going to lightly bring it upwards. So not going too close to this area. You don't want this to look too pink and glowy. You want it to be more at the outer edge of the apples, and blending it up and also into the rest of your bronzer and contour. I'm also going to take this a little bit on my forehead, tip of my nose, and my eyelids. And the reason I'm doing that is just to kind of, oh sorry, I lost my voice there, it's just, lost it again, is just to kind of bring the color throughout my face. I don't know, that's just something I do with my face makeup. I don't know if it's even right, but I just think it kind of brings the look all together and it really blends all of the products as well. Now we did put those Cover FX custom drops on our cheeks before all of this, but I'm gonna really amplify my highlighter just a titch more. I don't know if titch is a word, but I'm using it, and I'm using this one that I have been obsessed with lately. You guys have seen it lots in my tutorials. It is the Laura Geller pink, what is it, Charming Pink one, and I don't know what it is, but I'm super into like a pink undertone highlighter at the moment. I think it just really is warm on the face and inviting, and it just goes with the healthy look that I'm trying to achieve here. So I'm taking it on this Loud L8 brush and then kind of fine-tuning my highlighter that we already put on. So right at the tops of my cheeks, blending it out, tip of my nose, and then also the bridge of my nose, right above my eyebrows, a little bit on my chin, and also the inner corner of my eyes. So that is it for my updated highlight and contour routine. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you guys during Vlogmas. Bye!